Hey, everybody, and welcome in. It's the Poor Man Fantasy Football League podcast. We're the fantasy football show that gives you a peek inside the life and times of our Dynasty League, except for today. This week, I'm your host, Mike, and this week, my friend Andrew, who's always with me, my brother from another mother. Andrew has come up with the idea that we're now going to do a quick little analysis of some other leagues that we're in and then play a little game. So, before we get into that, it is Wednesday, May 29th. The Oilers are playing. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. It's been super busy with us moving at work and stuff. So
Yeah, you're a couple days away from having to be gone, right? To be moved
yep,
over.
yeah, we're about 99% done at the old place, and then finally be done. We're still under renovations in the new place, so it's like working in a construction zone, which is kind of
Oh
a
wow.
pain in the butt. But
Okay.
hopefully they're done by the middle of next week, and then get everything all moved and sorted out. And so yeah. Busy 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so. Yep. And yourself? How about you?
Good. Life is good. Kids are busy. Life is busy. My work van got broken into over the weekend. Yeah, I got that
At your
phone
house
call.
or at
No, at the
oh,
shop. I don't bring my van home. It stays in a locked and secure compound, or at least we thought. Looks like two dudes on bikes decided to stroll through the man gate. Somehow they got it open, but it was too dark, and the camera doesn't really catch that area. They strolled in, scoped some vans, picked mine, smashed a window, got inside, stole some tools, some parts, and now I don't have a van because it's in for repairs, and I'm missing a bunch of important tools, and we have to wait for approval to go and replace them. So
are they your personal stuff or is it just work stuff?
all work related, so none of my
Oh,
personal stuff, because I keep my personal stuff with me in my work backpack, my bag, and I bring that to and from work. But all of my work tools and materials work in the van. So
was that the only vehicle targeted?
in this case, yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. So they
Yep.
knew they were going after.
The video footage, because we pulled it up as soon as we could, showed them coming in and kind of making a beeline for my van. Yep.
Yeah. So they knew what was.
Uh-huh.
They knew what was
They,
in there and what they were going after.
yeah, they didn't investigate very long. So the row of vans that they went to, I'm literally in the middle. So they just started looking through. Now, granted, my van's one of the older vans, and I've got windows all around. Whereas all the newer vans are completely sealed off, and the only windows are the driver's side, passenger side. There's no.
Yeah, but still, they had probably scoped out your van at a site
Maybe, yeah.
and looked and saw kind of what was in it,
Yeah,
and
knew
then
what
went
kind of
after it.
jobs I do and waited for me to load up with parts, and
Yep.
out they went.
High-end electronics.
Yeah. Okay. Funny story though. I did have some garbage boxes. I had a 75-inch TV garbage box. I hadn't dumped out yet, and they took that. I can only
Did it?
imagine how difficult that would have been riding on a bike to take. But
But they didn't realize that when the picked
no,
up
it
the
just
box
had
and it was super light.
no. It was heavy. I filled it full of garbage.
Oh, okay. So they
So
thought they
they
were getting a TV.
thought they were getting a TV. No, granted, some modern TVs are a bit lighter, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
the true weight of a TV. But I packed it all up and just sealed it full of garbage with the intent of taking it to the recycling. And these guys took it for me.
That's funny. They open it up
Yeah.
and like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
oh
Good for them.
well.
Anyways,
Hopefully
so,
they
so
recycled for you though.
I hope so. It doesn't just end up on the side of the road. So, you know what? They probably turned it into somebody's house. It's probably a lean-to somewhere.
Probably.
Big box like that, yeah. All right. Otherwise, I did mention the Oilers are playing tonight. I'm not a big Oilers fan, as you can tell. I'm a Calgary Flames fan first, but I do cheer for the Oilers. Grew up as an Oilers fan, but not like really. It's just kind of like a regional thing until I really got into hockey, which I then chose the Flames. But I do cheer for the Oilers. They are in the second semifinals. It's a big game tonight. They're at home. I have watched them lose every game. Whenever I watch, they lose. And they could be winning. and I'll turn it on.
Wow.
Like
every
the
game
other
that
day.
every game that they've played, they've been winning.
Okay, so like I turn it on, I decide to watch, and then they end up losing. Even if I watch for like a half hour, and it's like, oh, okay, bad things are going to happen, and they do. So I have self-imposed a no watch rule, and there's a couple friends, coworkers, and stuff. Kara in particular is like, no, you can't watch. You cannot watch. Like if you think that's a thing, don't watch. So I've been getting the Sportsnet updates. You know, it was 2-0 for Dallas.
Yes.
And I'm thinking like, I'm not watching. You watch, they're gonna come back. Yeah, it's 4-2 now. So the Oilers have scored 4 unanswered goals to tie or to take the lead. I'm not going to watch. They're gonna win. It's gonna go 2-2. And what is it? This is round 3 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so far, this superstition has held true.
Well,
so
there you go.
I'm going to refrain, Oilers fans. Oh, that's something else. I will refrain from watching the rest of the playoffs. I will just wait till the game's over and catch the highlights.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So for you, this is just a normal summer then, because you wouldn't be watching hockey this late into the season anyway.
That's a nice silent dig at my team. Yeah, and how did your Chicago Blackhawks do?
Oh, they haven't done nothing for about 5 years, but
all right, Connor Bedard's not living up to the hype.
But the Flames haven't done anything for like 15 years.
No, we had maybe yeah. Maybe that's right.
I think the Blackhawks have won 5 cups since the Flames were even in the finals.
No, it's like 3. I think he went 3.
4 out of 5. They went 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, all right. Well, that's still pretty significant. 4 out of 5 Stanley Cups, and we've won 1. Anyways, moving on to football. A recent trade went down in another league, and I thought it was curious because obviously we have different valuations of players.
Yes.
And this individual made a trade for James Cook, and he sent Greg Dortch a 2025 first and a 2026 second. James Cook. See, that's what I thought. Oof. I said, hey, man, you must be a believer in James Cook. And he laughed and said, what, you think I overpaid? I'm like, I don't know. It's an overpay for me. I would never pay that for James Cook. I am not that big of a believer in James Cook, but that's the beauty of fantasy football.
Yeah, everybody's opinion is different, and I don't think he's worth a first. He hasn't proven himself enough yet.
He had a couple games, but not.
He had a good season last year, and if he can repeat and do even better, then maybe next year for a first, but certainly not right now. He's still an unknown. And the running back, like we have all seen it. The running back life is too short now.
How many rushing touchdowns? Guess how many rushing touchdowns James Cook had last year? Rushing.
I'm going to say 12. 12 maybe?
2.
Oh.
Okay. Because he doesn't get rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen gets them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this guy is banking on, now that Stephon Diggs is gone, that he is going to get like a buttload of extra targets, and that he's going to get 5 plus an additional 5, at least 5 rushing touchdowns. And I was like, hey man, like good on you. Like make the bet. Like you're gambling. I get it. Yeah. I just can't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. It could go totally the other way. Josh Allen might be taking the ball even more because he doesn't have anybody to throw to. So I'm just going to run my ass off. Be a Michael Vick. Right?
You could. So in this case, I have 0 shares of James Cook because I don't like the volatility in his for him. So I wouldn't looking to gamble. I don't want to be left holding the bag where he doesn't deliver, and I don't want to pay up for I believe the asking price to take that high risk shot. Yeah. So I have 0 shares of it, and I found it really curious because this guy, he wanted to buy James Cook now because he believes James Cook is going to explode, be a top 3 running back this year, and be worth more than 2 firsts for next season.
It would be curious.
Like, okay.
Who initiated the trade? Did the guy say, I will give you these these things for James Cook, or did the other guy say, for me to give up James Cook, I want this, this, and this?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, don't know. That wasn't really discussed. It was just an interesting dialogue. So the guy who traded him away feels like me and was more than happy to sell at that price.
Oh, yeah.
Where a couple other guys were like, yeah, no, man, it's a great deal. You got him at a steal. And I was like, that's interesting, the valuation. And now we wait to see, right? We wait to see what happens at the end of the season. Where does he land? You don't know. We're all gambling.
Yep. Well, it's the same thing with the draft, right? You turn around and you pick up a guy in the draft hoping, outside of the first 5 picks, you're just hoping after that the guy is going to be a superstar. And you get lucky with Puka Nacua, who Donnie got him in the 4th round,
fifth round,
Sam
Laporta in the 3rd.
Sam Laporta. These guys just take off and have phenomenal years, and that's great. Or then you take a who's that quarterback last year that just fell flat?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, yes. Everybody's so high on Bryce Young. Oh, got to get him in the first round. And his valuation now is probably a 4th or a 5th round. Because really, he's disappeared. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. The game we love is such a fickle feast.
It is, but I do love seeing these scenarios, and then kind of like, let's look back at those down the road and see how they pan out. Like, was the gamble worth it year one? Because we've done a show every year where we review the trades that happen, and we kind of put like, hey, at the time, this is what we thought. However, 90 days, 100 days, a year later, how different that trade looks.
Yeah. Just think about 20 years ago when Tom Brady was just hitting. Mm-hmm. Guys were probably getting him for a bag of peanuts.
Yep.
And what did his career turn out to be?
One of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Now, we're going to go and play a game.
Yes.
You have proposed this, and we talked about it off the air to kind of get iron out the details. We are in 4 leagues together. Poor man, simple man, crazy man, and no fun.
Yes.
So tonight we decided simple man will be our test subject. And what we're going to do is the other 8 teams that are on the board, we're going to spin a wheel and we're going to be assigned randomly assigned a team. And what we're going to do is we're each going to take that team and we're going to analyze it from our perspective. So this isn't like a dunk session or trash talk. This isn't us just to make fun of that manager's team. Hey, if this team was orphaned and I walked into it today, how do I feel about it? We're going to add some thoughts. We're going to add some perspective of like, hey, look, you know what? I'd be looking to try and go and do this and this, and my chances of winning the championship this year.
Yeah. And just because every manager manages differently. You for example, put a higher value on, say, a good quality wide receiver, where I may put more value on a running back.
Yep.
So I may walk into a team that has, the top running back, and I'm super excited about it, and my wide receivers in my opinion, would need some help. So, just to kind of take a little peek at, a what if I managed game, and we'll do that over the next 4 weeks for the 4 leagues, and we won't pick the same manager twice, so it won't be like, hey, we're picking on Donnie or Juan, who seems to have 2 teams in our league, him and Mr. Tony Jackson, his alter ego.
Yeah, that's right.
But we won't pick the same guy twice, just so that no one feels slighted. But I don't think any of those guys would anyway, because it's not in maliciousness. It's just, hey, what would we do?
For fun.
Yep. Not to say that they're doing anything wrong, because they're managing it the way they manage it.
Yeah.
So, and I think you've got the wheel of death up there so that we can randomly pick our teams.
We do. So if you're ready, do you want to go first?
Sure, you can spin for me. I'm cool with it.
All right, here goes the spin. The spin is going, and you are. Oh, wow. Okay, I got to pronounce his name.
Pardon?
You get RN4L661.
He's taken the moniker of All Madden.
Right.
Nice.
Oh,
He's
that's right.
taken
Okay.
the nickname All Madden.
So your team.
Ooh, I'm liking this one actually so far. And who did you get?
Hey, I haven't spun. I'm just writing this
Oh.
down. L6. Okay, so that's who you were assigned. We're going to hide that choice because I can't pick them. I'm going to spin, and let's see who I get. Nice. I get Donnie's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Simple Man at Donnie. That's who I get. Okay, I can live with that. All right, so it's going to get rid of this window. Hide choice. Boop, done. Gone. Okay. So here we are. We're looking at these teams. I'm assuming you have your team up ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, I
Okay.
popped it up in front of me.
So give us some highlights. You lead us down this path.
Okay, so like right off the bat, like the starting lineup looks pretty good for myself. I got at quarterback Justin Hurts or Jalen Hurts, sorry.
Jalen Hurts, yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Travis Etienne, Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
At wide receiver, I got Chris Olave and Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
Tight end, Pratt Firemuth.
Mm-hmm.
My flex spots sitting with T. Higgins, Addison, and Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
Good
starting lineup.
Do you want to go with your starting lineup and see what some highlights for you?
Here's what I got from Donnie's team. And now Donnie is trying to be a contender in this one. He made some trades recently to get into this game. So here's who he's got. He's starting Lamar Jackson. That would be his best quarterback. He's got Breece Hall and Kyron Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Puka Nacua, Michael Pittman, and Rachaad White. That's his current starting lineup. Yeah, it's a good lineup.
He's going to be a contender too then in this one too.
Yeah, it looks like a good team.
And no wonder I'm in last place in this league.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the bench and I see some potential talent here.
Yeah, so do I. Like this person loves quarterbacks apparently, kind of like you and Poor Man. Has Bo Nix, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Aaron Rodgers, the bench quarterback. So not so bad.
He doesn't love quarterbacks. He just loves bad quarterbacks because there's not a Aaron Rodgers is about the only backup with Bo Nix as a potential future candidate with low odds of success.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Lance and Fields probably won't see the field.
All right.
Okay.
So let's break it down. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about quarterback position, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Talk about your bench, and then the draft capital. Then we're going to talk a little bit about some trade offers. If you're going to try and go out there, like what would you target and why? What would you try and move and why? Then we're going to do 3 waiver wire attempts. If you have to drop a guy, who's out there that you might want to pick up? And then we're going to do final thoughts on your new team if you're able to make these deals happen. What do you think your chances are, and how many years do you think you're going to be? Like, what's your win window?
Yeah, and I think for the next 3 weeks, what we should do is like at the end of tonight, we should pick next week's team so that we can actually look and do some
time to do some analysis.
Yeah, not just fly by the seat of our pants type thing. Yeah.
Oh man, but I love flying by the seat of my pants as I wear shorts.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, so Mike, the first question. You happy with your quarterback, or is there all of your quarterbacks, or are you in a needing?
Okay. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to initiate a trade with Donnie. That way I can line up not just his starting lineup, but see his team by groupings. And if you want, I'm going to do this. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to share Sleeper. Okay. So this Donnie's team currently has Lamar Jackson, and his number one backup is Matt Stafford. So I like the backup. And he's got Jaden Daniels, which to me is a hot rookie quarterback. So I'm loving the quarterback room. There's nothing I would do to this quarterback room except try and move Bryce Young. I would move him. Now, Just to preface this league is simple, which hence the name Simple Man. There's no special scoring. It's half point PPR, 6 point passing touchdown. That's it. No tight end premium. No passing bonuses or first down bonus. None of those. No, wait, I might be over speaking here. Let me just confirm that, folks. That's the intent of this game. So yeah, passing yards simple, 2 point conversions, 2 points. Yeah, no special scoring here. So nice and simple. So when I'm looking at the team as I'm trying to make an analysis, I'm happy with the quarterback situation. I love Lamar as my starter. I'm more than comfortable with Matt Stafford as my backup, and Jaden Daniels as a rookie coming in to help bolster my depth going forward and seeing what happens. The only thing I'd want to do, move Bryce Young.
But do you think you would want to say with Bryce Young, for example, wait to see how the season starts? Because maybe he does. Maybe he bounces back in his sophomore
Don't care.
year.
Maybe.
Okay.
Not for me. I'm out. I am OUT out. I'm trying to capture as much capital as I can get
Sure.
coming back to move on from Bryce Young.
Okay.
Now, while I've got this up, let's take a quick look at the rest of the positions. Then we'll flip back over to you. Is that cool?
Sure. Yep.
All right. So loving that has got Breece Hall, Kyron Williams. These are two hot young running backs, and young being the operative word here. So I'm going to have a few years with these dudes. He's got Rashad White, which is, I like Rashad White. I think the opportunity is going to remain. He's a volume play. He's not efficient with the ball. So I love that I have roughly 3 starting running backs to work with. But beyond that, DeAndre Swift. He's got DeAndre Swift hiding down here on his bench. I like that. Otherwise, Jason Mason, Kay Harris for New England, Rico Dowdle, the shell of Cam Akers, Naheem Hines, Leonard Fournette, and Luis Reese Zamet, Rasheed Alley. There's some interesting pieces here, but it's a shallow running back pool to begin with. So I'm happy that I have 3 starting running backs that I can trust, with DeAndre Swift possibly rising up to that based upon his opportunity in Chicago. So very happy with the running back room.
Yeah.
My personal preference is to own handcuffs. That way, if my guy goes down, I've already got the guy I can plug into the slot. So the only thing I might do here is I might try and get some of these handcuffs. Not really sure who the handcuffs would be for some of these dudes, though. Breece Hall is kind of open-ended, so we don't know. Kyron Williams, to me, that's Blake Corum. I'm not sure I can get him. Rashad White. Bucky Irving, maybe. That's a rookie this year. And then DeAndre Swift. You're looking at who? Khalil Herbert or Rashawn Johnson. So yeah, that's about maybe the only thing I try and go and snag.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to my wide receivers, he's got a hot wide receiver room. Like, if anything, this is obviously, I think, his strength. You got CeeDee Lamb, last year's number 1, Amon St. Brown, another top 10, Puka Nacua, another top 10, Michael Pittman, who I think is going to be at least top 15, top 24 for sure. So you've got 4 starting wide receivers. Juicy. Like, this is fantastic. When it comes to depth, though, that's it. Trey Tucker, Brownlee, Calvin Austin, whoever this guy is. Bryce Ford Wheaton. Sounds like a dealership. And then Demario Douglas, who could be somebody, right? Like, he had some flashes last year, but all right. So I'm good. I'm happy. I might try and target, knowing that in this league in particular, we are starting 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 3 flex. I might try and bolster the wide receiver room somehow. But this is where, to me, I'm extremely happy. Sam Laporta, as a Lions fan, love the fact that he's got Sam Laporta. Hate the fact that I don't have him. But Donnie does that to me as I do it to him. We snag each other's picks in other leagues as we start to draft and become familiar with what the other guy wants. So it's a bit of a punch and jab all in love. So he's got Sam Laporta here. I'm solid starter. He's got Cole Kmet, who was a top 9. Was it top 9? Top 8? Ooh, number 7. Sorry, number 7 tight end in this league. So you've got starters. Totally happy with where this is at. Now to look at his picks. Oh, come on, scroll down. There we go. He's got next year's 1st, 4th, and 5th. So he's already traded away the 2nd and 3rd. I know why. He built up his roster to be competitive this year, to make a challenge for the playoffs and the title. So I'm not like, he still holds his 1st, which I think is fantastic because now that's draft capital that you can use to help bolster your roster come trade deadline. Yeah. So like the team construction, to be honest with you, I can't think of how I would do. I can't think of a significant move I would make that can improve the team further. For me, I think my window is now, but it's also based upon the amount of youth and talent that he's got on the roster. I think my window is probably the next 3 years that I can make a significant push, given the assets I have and the draft capital still intact. The only thing I try and do is I try and sell off and take some shots on some wide receiver guys to add some depth. Maybe a handcuff if I can get it cheap, and then move on from Bryce Young.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Great analysis.
Are you able to share your screen? Here, I'm just going to.
Yeah. How did you get your that trade thing?
So what I did, I'll show you. I'll walk you through it as I share my screen again. So here's what I did. I went to my team.
Okay.
Right. Went over here to the right.
Yeah. To the trade.
Hit trade.
I never used my computer.
Oh, really?
I always use my phone for everything.
Okay, this is still doable on the phone. It's just a condensed screen size.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, it gives me the whole gambit of all the team managers.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to select the guy I want to see. So I'm going to select Donnie, and then I'm going to hit next. And now it just puts us into a trade window between the two of us. And now I can add players.
There we go.
And remove players. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
I will unshare my screen and give you a chance to share yours. Oh, here we go. Okay, so there you are. Let's have a look.
So, like you, at quarterback, I like Jalen Hurts.
Oh, yeah, that's a juicy one.
And for the bye week, Aaron Rodgers is more than capable. Trey Lance and Justin Fields, like you, ready to kind of move on from them, and maybe get somebody else who's young. Bo Nix, I guess the jury's out on that. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna be
at least he's got a guy to try it.
Yeah. It's like Bryce Young last year, right? Like everybody figured he'd be a superstar, and it just didn't work, right? Mm-hmm. And then on my running back, ETN, obviously he's the starter there.
Yeah, I think he's the star of your running back room.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs could have a bounce back year now in Green Bay. A new environment. And then it kind of goes downhill from there. Most of these guys aren't going to see a whole lot of playing time unless somebody gets hurt.
Well, I will say, Tajay Spears is about the only bright spot I see. Is that that's a guy who could get some playing time. He's a handcuff. To me, he's not a starter, right? Tony Pollard's the guy, but Tajay Spears, if things don't go right, Tajay Spears could be your guy. So you have two solid starters.
Yep. And then from my wide receiver room, Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, both I like. T. Higgins I like. Jordan Addison I like. Hollywood Brown, again, new environment. Could have a really good year in Kansas City. with Patrick Mahomes. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to go fingers double crossed here that Hollywood Brown has an absolute blow up season, that he just like rocks the world, because people expect him to be like okay to good, and I want him to be great to awesome. That's what I'm fingers crossed.
You got him in lots of leagues, I take
I got him in so many places. I'm just hanging on to that bag, man. I just want it to pay off. Let him go balls to the walls.
Yeah. I mean, I would like being a Chiefs fan, I would like that as well.
You got some good depth here.
Yeah. He had lots of draft picks this year.
Yeah.
I like Worthy. If it's not going to be Brown, it's going to be Worthy. One of the two of them's got to get the ball.
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Ooh, Mitchell. Javon Baker, who's a prospect. Yeah. Cortland Sutton.
Johan
Dotson. Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah.
Oh, and the shot on Kalush. Okay. This is the strength of the team. You've got some great depth, some guys that could rise up to give you some points here.
Yes. And this is where, because I got some weaker running backs, maybe I can trade a wide receiver to get a running back. In my tight end room, I Freiermuth I like, Waller I like.
Really, Mr. Retiree?
Well, if he doesn't retire, I like him. He's in an environment that they don't really have much.
Right.
They don't have much, period. So, and he's got a useless quarterback thrown to him. So, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
For his draft capital, he's got all of his picks for next year. Did you just expand that? Is that how?
Yeah.
There we go.
Just scroll over. Yeah, so you got first, second, third.
He's got all five.
He's got them all.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so to me, he's sitting in a really good spot. He's got young wide receivers that this year will tell us whether or not they're going to rise to the surface. Yeah. And he's got young enough running backs that maybe not this year as a strong competitor. Like he could squeak in. It's the only, to me, the running back room is the weak spot. But if you can rely on just those two guys, maybe the third, just keep it going. If you can trade in,
I'm thinking he's going to battle for that 6-5-4 spot.
Yep, be on that bubble.
He's going to be in the middle of the pack there, and if he squeaks in, and who knows what happens in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So I don't mind this team. I really don't.
Yeah. Historically speaking, this league has been dominated by Biggin. He was back-to-back for a couple years. And myself and Desire were always on the door knocking. If it wasn't me competing for the championship, it was Desire competing for the championship. And then just this past year, we were able to knock him out. So it was Desire and I that went at it.
And Desire's very, very aggressive on the trade. The trade forum.
He wants
always
to win.
Trying to put out stuff. Yep.
Yeah. There's no better opponent than one who's active and has a desire, right? Because then, hence the name, I guess. Sorry, no pun intended. To win. So it's nice to have guys in your league that are competitive like that.
Yep. Perfect.
So
from a trade perspective, what would be? And I put on here 3. You don't have to do 3.
I just received a trade offer in that league
while we're
talking. Nope. In this case, from Buster Jacoby.
Oh, one.
He sent me a trade offer. He wants to send me old man Zay Jones in Arizona and a tight end Isaiah Likely in Baltimore for David Njoku.
Wow. Even Njoku's getting up there. So
David Njoku happens to be my starting tight end.
Yeah.
Because unlike I have Dalton Schultz, Juwan Johnson, Luke Musgrave, and Tyler Kraft.
Yeah, I would probably be declining that one.
I am going to decline that. Yeah, I'm going to have to say no. Sorry. Unless there's a counter. Like if he wants it, what has he got? Obviously he hasn't. Oh, he's got Dalton Kincaid and Kyle Pitts. What is he doing? What? I will try and make a trade for Dalton Kincaid.
There you go.
Yep. I will try and get Dalton. I'll give you David Njoku. Yeah, you can have David Njoku. I will take Dalton Kincaid. Man, David Njoku's got some crazy cool hair. Says the bald guy. Yeah.
Oh, Edmonton just scored again.
Did they? My watch is behind. It hasn't told me yet.
It just happened. I looked up.
Usually I get it before it happens on TV. Oh, well, congratulations to the Edmonton Oilers. I'm not watching, so you're going to win.
There you go.
Bing. Who got it? Ekholm.
So like I said,
did you hear that?
No, what?
I'm in my basement.
Yeah.
Okay. In my basement, I can hear my neighbors.
Oh,
through the headphones. In my basement, like they're yelling. My goodness! Wow.
They're fans, I guess.
They are fans. I was not expecting that. Good for them.
So, like I said, you don't have to make 3 trades or 3 waiver pickups, but if there's stuff out there that you would make a realistic trade, you're not going to trade Denny Dimes for Patrick Mahomes. We're not going to allow something like that to happen.
Yeah,
it has to be realistic.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm completely using this time inappropriately as I sent a counter offer to try and get Dalton Kincaid from Buster. What do you think? A 4th? Yeah, we'll go that. I'll do David Njoku and a 4th for Dalton Kincaid. I'm not sure if that's a fair offer or not. It's kind of spur of the moment. I can't really think about it. Let's go hit next and expire in 24 hours. Go. Okay. So in my case, I'm actually happy with not having to facilitate a trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would start the season off running just the way you are.
As I am, mainly because I think I have a strong enough roster to get out of the gate, and then as I go, probably like week 3, 4. I'm going to start doing some considerations or analysis saying, hey, look, how confident am I now that I'm a couple games in? Do I think that I could make a move? And right now, if I move on from Bryce Young, I'm kind of selling at a low point. Sure. I think I take my chances and see, hey, does he have a couple good games? And what could I use to get if he has a bit of an uptick and things kind of improve for him, and make my decision then. So right now, I'm not sure there's a target out there that I would be looking to go and get.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go with one trade.
Okay, what are you thinking?
I want another top 15 running back in like a total top 15 running back. I think I'm going to go after Devon Achane.
Good luck. I'm going to love to hear what this is going to look like.
And then I just got to go back to his team.
Did they score again?
No, it's the end of the game.
Oh, it is the end of the game because I'm like, man, I'm hearing screaming. So it's tied 2-2.
Yeah, the series is tied 2-2.
Okay.
So for Achane, I'm going to give up Addison and a 3rd round.
Nope.
You don't think that would be fair?
If there's not a 1st round selection in play to get Devon Achane, you're not moving the needle.
Really?
Jordan Addison is
considering you just talked about James Cook getting a 1st.
Right. So you're looking at my consideration. This is a kid who has the ability to put up 30 to 60 points in a single game. Granted, he's small and doesn't have a lot of durability. However,
that's the downside.
He's young. Right? He's a 2nd-year running back for an elite team with an elite offense. And you're going to give me Jordan Addison, who didn't even break top 24 at his position, and a 3rd round pick?
Well, maybe I'll bump it up. Maybe I will go the 1st in Addison.
And see, and to me, you would then we would open up negotiations at that point. Like I was like, okay, I think you're kind of serious about this, because to me, I don't want Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is a fringe flex play. He was okay, but not great because Justin Jefferson demanded everything, and he should demand everything. The guy's an amazing athlete. He's going to win you. He's going to win you football games. Jordan Addison is not going to win you football games. He's an afterthought.
He was like the 21st wide receiver, though, right? So
wide receiver 21.
Yeah,
with Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah.
And now he's got J.J. McCarthy. Love our quarterback. Go blue. But I don't know if J.J. McCarthy in his first year is going to be able to carry Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones in the backfield.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the trade I would throw out there to see. Waiver wire.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
is where.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, you were
No,
saying something?
to me, I think that's a great start. You're probably going to need to top it up a little bit to try and get the gamble on Devon Achane. To me, your better chances are trying to get one of those, like like an Aaron Jones or Joe Mixon, maybe even a Zach Moss. Do that 1 year rental.
Jones isn't that far. Achane's not that far ahead of Jones.
In regards to how he performed.
Like Achane was the 13th, Jones was the 15th, but not that far apart.
Jones played almost the entire year. Achane played half a season and achieved almost the same results.
I suppose, yeah.
Right. So, Aaron Jones is older, right? So to me, the value of your running backs, they diminish as they get older because there's less tread on the tires. A young guy like Achane or Kyron Williams is like, you're not going to get those without having to pay a hefty price. Personal opinion, right? But that's where the valuations are different. So good trade offer. I think that has some good chances. Wire, though.
I'm putting this out there.
Yep.
For you that listen in Poor Man, when we get there and we're talking trades, I don't want to be seeing these trades on the waiver on the screen the next day.
Then we're helping these guys facilitate these trades. Yeah.
Yeah. So players available.
So I'm looking at lot. Yeah, because we have deep benches and we're a single quarterback league. There's not a lot out there. There's some quarterbacks that are like Aiden O'Connell. If you want to take a shot at him being either the starter or the backup.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm not sure about what's out there right now. Okay. I realize, folks, thank you for bearing with us as we painfully look through this list here. I'm sitting here looking at the running back list, and right now at the top of the list is Samaje Perine. We got Deuce Vaughn, Ty Johnson, Imari DiMercado, Gray Hall, Chase Edmonds, McClellan, Trey Sermon, Elijah Bailey, Frank Gore. Frank Gore is out there. Your boy Frank Gore's out there. How is that possible?
He's never drafted, I guess.
Yeah, he slipped through everybody's fingers. Yeah, your boy Frank Gore. Okay, and then beyond that, like Cordell Patterson, Michael Carter, like there's Craig Reynolds, Dwayne McBride, Kyle Juszczyk. There's nothing out here, man. There's nobody out here that is really. I've got
a blank. I've got a bench spot on my team,
so I'm not having to give bench spot.
Yeah, so I'm not having to give up a player.
Okay, then go grab somebody.
I'm going to go take Van Jefferson.
Oh, he's out there. I haven't got there. Okay.
He's the number 8 wide receiver, or he's number 8 overall on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to go after Van Jefferson, and I'd put up $5 for him. Just see how he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Pittsburgh. We got $100 of off-season fab. So dudes that are out there on the wide receiver side, we've got Michael Gallup, Devontae Parker. Didn't he just retire? Yeah, he just retired.
Yeah,
he's done. Marquez Valdez Scantling.
No.
Van Jefferson, Jake Bobo, Khalif Raymond, Naomi Brown, Cedric Wilson, KJ Hamler, kind of interesting out there in Buffalo.
Brown probably came off my team.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Mecole Hardman's out there. He doesn't have a job.
Sorry, Khalif Raymond probably came off my team.
Okay. Bo Melton, Montgomery, Johnson. Yeah, there's that is the unfortunate part of having such deep benches in a dynasty league, is that the waiver wires are kind of picked clean. So you're really looking at what you could add.
Again, going after like a backup, in case the starter goes down. Evan Hull, the backup in Indianapolis for running back.
Sure, yeah. You know what? In reality, I'm not sure who is the backup.
Jonathan Taylor. Or no, he is the backup.
Yeah, he is the backup. Evan Hall is the backup.
Yeah.
Trey Sermon, I wouldn't trust.
The other guys don't even know them. Trent Penix.
Yeah. So it's Evan Hall or bust.
Yeah. So those would be 2 waiver wires that I would look at for this team. A wide receiver and a running back.
Yep.
Who's available for tight end?
Yuck
Jelani
is
Woods,
what-
Jaheim Bell, Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson, maybe. Durham Smythe had an up and down year.
Smith showed up.
Yeah.
So he's not a tight end worth holding anymore.
Yeah. That's about it.
And Robert Tonyan is now signed with the Minnesota Vikings. So this dude has officially played for every NFC North team. He was a Lion at one point. He was with Green Bay. He was in Chicago. Weather. He just likes the NFC North, man.
Okay, so last question for you. Thoughts of your new team? How do you think you'll do this year? How many years do you think it would take you to win the league?
I'd probably lose to Go Guy Go in this league. That's probably what's going to happen. I'd probably make Final Four, but lose to last year's champions. Probably what's going to happen.
No.
And but I think I could be a consistent contender for at least for the next 3 years if I play my cards right and use my draft picks wisely. I think the next 3 years I could either be 3-time champion or I can at least steal one of those away from an epic team like Go Guy Go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My thoughts.
Yourself.
My thoughts. We both kind of touched a little bit on it. Got to get another running back, whether it be through a trade or through draft pick next year. But I'm kind of like you. It's on the bubble. The team is on the bubble. I think draft wisely, pick up another one or two young guys, and again, be in the money in the next 2 or 3 years. Whether it be first or second, get some money. I think within the next 3 years. This is you hit a home run today with the Wheel of Death.
I did.
Getting us 2 good teams.
We did really well. I love RNL's team for this perspective of that he has got so much wide receiver talent as depth that even if because he can't play it all. Let's say he plays his best 5 receivers. Well, he still has another 4 that could hit.
Yes. And
if they do, you now have valuable trade asset to go and fill in another gap that you have, right? That now makes you a contender. So like you said, you were willing to trade away Jordan Addison, who's still an up-and-comer, to try and go get you that running back.
Yep. And whether it's you trade the wide receiver for future draft picks or a guy that has kind of proven himself now, either one, right? It's he's set up. The team is set up pretty well with, I mean, even like even T Higgins, Hollywood Brown. You got lots of guys that can that have name value still.
Yep.
That you can get
a lot of wide receiver 2s for their team, though.
Yes. Yep. But a lot of those wide receiver 2s step up when wide receiver 1 gets double teamed.
For me, the big question is how is Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown? Because he owns both of them. Yeah. One of them should hit, right? So you're hedging your bets. If both of them hit, I'd be selling Hollywood and be like, okay, buddy, sell and move on.
Yeah.
Try and cash out. Keep Xavier Worthy because that's the long time standing. Hollywood's got a 1-year deal. He's probably not going to stick with the team the following year. So
unless he hits and Xavier takes a year to come around, then Hollywood might get a second contract. They're still going to be a contender, probably.
They are, yeah,
for the next 4 years at least.
They're a great team as long as they keep Andy Reid as a coach and Patrick Mahomes stays healthy. I think that's just a great combination. They're going to make anything work. If Hollywood Brown shows up and some good things happen, and Xavier Worthy lags in his production, and Rashee Rice figures out his personal issues and gets on the field, like that's a team that has some really good potential. I just know as a Hollywood owner, and the amount of shares that I have. Sorry, just getting hit with a tax bill. Property taxes came in. They went up from last year, $1,215 over last year. Yay! Yeah. Anyways, Anyways, this is a team that I think, hey, look, I want to move on from Hollywood Brown. If Hollywood Brown is hot, if I'm heading towards the trade deadline with him on my roster, I'm probably going to try and move him, knowing full well that he's on the downward slope, and this might just be a one-tick wonder. I don't know, but that's kind of what my thought is. Oh, you went muted.
Sorry.
There you go.
It's a good gamble to have, right? Because the ceiling is high on it. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have 3 leagues left to cover, folks. Today was
Which
Simple
league do
Man.
you-
Next week,
What do you want to do?
you know
next
what?
week?
Let's do Crazy Man, the Super Flex Extravaganza.
Okay. You want to throw the teams
Okay.
on and we'll pick now?
All right. Well, tell us a story while I build this.
Tell a story.
Yeah, tell us a story about something.
Well, actually, why don't you tell a story about your trip to Calgary for the last couple of weeks?
Oh, are you going to build it while I do this then?
Well, I'll tell you what teams to write in.
Okay.
Crazy Man.
All right.
League.
I'm going to go Ron, Mexico.
Yes. And then Donnie. Nope, Donnie. Take Donnie off the list.
Donnie's already been. Yeah, Andrew. It's Peeps.
It's Peeps. DK 5048.
5048. Sounds like
Airy.
Cack. That's right.
Yep. Chervin.
Buddy Chervin.
No one in sight.
Oh,
the new guy.
Oh, right. He's the new guy.
Yeah.
No one in. Yep.
Labris.
Gabriel.
Iceman, and Rob
Marvin. Sport. And Rob Sport. He's a good sport. Okay, are you ready? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Just cause I can now. Should have did this before. Not sure what I was thinking. Boom. Shared. Are you ready for the spin?
Sure.
This is for you. Andrew's team that he's going to do the analysis of next week. Oh, the brand new guy. Be kind. He's new.
Yep.
Okay, you're just putting it in. So when I go to make
I put it in.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
And finally, are you ready? My turn. Get away. Oh, here we go, Chervin. Yeah. So expect some very poor advice and analysis on Chervin's team next week.
There we go.
Yeah, it's fun.
There we have it.
All right. Should be good. Well, that'll be next week's show. We're into June. We're going to have some vacations coming up here in the summer, right? We're going to have to chat about that coverage. I'll be heading off to BC again. I'm sure you got some stuff going on.
Yeah, we're
got some lake trips.
Annual, our annual camping trip with the group of friends.
Yeah, okay.
Out of Wapaman.
All right. Now, before I send you guys off, you did ask me about my trip to Calgary.
Yes.
I went down there to go visit my old Calgary friends, my old stomping grounds. It was great to see them. It's kind of like an annual adventure now. We go down. We are not planners. We don't think everything through. We go with the flow. We shoot from the hip. We just, as you know, we're like water. As things happen, we react and we go. So kind of here's how it broke down. Drove down Friday night, got there about 8:30. And the guy who's letting me stay at his place, him and his wife is like, hey, you know what? Would you like to go for dinner when you get here? We'll wait. And I was like, yeah, sure. Where do you guys want to go? He goes, you know what? Let's go to Blowers in Grafton, which is like an East Coast Halifax food place. I was like, cool. I've been to the one here in Edmonton. The food's fantastic. Let's go. One of the other guys in the group chat is like, hey, man, when you get down here, do you have plans? What are you doing? Like, are we doing anything? Are we getting together? And I was like, actually, I'm going to get together with Ed and his wife to go for dinner. And he goes, can I come? Yeah, sure. And then everyone decided, instead of getting together on Saturday, we all came out on Friday night. So we go to Blowers in Grafton. We drink some beers. We eat some fish. It was fantastic. They had a real East Coast band playing. The music was fun. Had a really good time. Crashed, slept, got to sleep in, which is not a common thing for me on the weekends, which is great. We go for breakfast to a cute little like local diner breakfast hop. Kind of reminds me of Cora's. If you guys know Cora's, they're really big into like their breakfast specials. Did that. And we were supposed to meet up in the afternoon because guys had to run some errands. Kids, you know, so busy, still living their lives. And then lo and behold, I'm staying with my friend Ed. And Ed goes, you know what? Let me take you to a Lego store. I was like, man, I've been to a Lego store. Like, sorry, there's nothing special, right? I've been to one. He's like, not like this. This is not the Lego store. It's a aftermarket Lego store called Brick Bids. And I was like, okay. So he drives me down to an area of the city I used to live in. And I know this area rather well. And I was like, where are you taking me? And he's like, yeah, this place is just like in this little hole in the wall just off of Center Street and 40th. So as we go down, I'm like, okay, we're in like a residential-esque area with like small, like old, like 1950s, 1960s little strip malls. And we pull into one. And sure enough, it's a little two-tier, two-decker. 4 businesses on the bottom, 4 businesses on the top with like the outside staircase that takes you up to the frontage, kind of like a motel style. And we go in to have a quick little chat. And the whole premise of this place is this guy buys as much Lego as he can possibly get and then breaks it all apart and doesn't sell it as sets. He just puts all the pieces into colored bins and you buy bulk pieces. So if you're looking for random pieces to either like complete a set or to do what's called the mock build, I'm learning this now. If you have an idea, something you want to build, and you kind of map it out, or you literally use a program, design it, and it gives you the printout of pieces, you go shopping for it. You can shop online because there's 2 places that Lego owns that you can do it from, or you got to find a private guy. He's the only guy in pretty much Western Canada that does bulk sales. So you walk in,
It's probably doing pretty good.
He's doing really good. He's got hundreds of bins and hundreds of minifigs and just like tons of everything. And yeah, you go through and you dig through your bins and you hang out and you chat with other like Lego people. And I was like, man, that's really neat. It's kind of a cool experience. Only to find out the dude has a second location in South Edmonton or South Calgary, 2 warehouses full of stuff that he's like, I need people to sort. I need people to sort my Lego. He goes, I don't have enough people or time to sort my Lego. And everything in this store will be gone within a week. I don't have to keep refilling it. To do that, I need to hire more people. So he pays $75 a bin. And the bin's like the size of a paper box.
Yep.
Like, like paper, like imagine that. You get paid $75 to sort that into colors. And then he's got a little like machine, kind of like a like a gold panning machine that just shakes, and everything that stays in the top layer, that's large, and it goes in the middle layer, that's medium, and it goes to the bottom is small. And he goes, all right, small, medium, large, here you go. Doesn't care what it is, as long as it matches the color, its size, distributes it, boom, done. I was like, 75, you pay $75 to sort this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to expand it to Edmonton too on August 1st. I got a store location open at Mayfield Plaza. I'm like, you're coming to Edmonton? Dude, I look forward to being there on opening day. I'm going to buy a bunch of cups.
There you go.
That was really fun. And of course, then the rest of the day got away from us because we did, some day drinking, and one thing led to another, and chaos ensued. And somehow we ended up at a Brazilian steakhouse, and we shut the place down because we had no concept of time because we were trashed and full of meat. And then, we all went our separate ways, and again slept in the next morning. And yeah, it was a good time. Truly enjoyed the boys' trip, man.
There you go.
It's nice to get those getaways. I don't see those guys often, so once a year, you make the most of it. Make some memories.
Yep, for sure.
All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for sticking with us. Hopefully, you come back next week as we do a Crazy Man team breakdown analysis for fun. Yeah,
Yep.
And we'll go with that. It's going to be good. Remember, folks, if you want to, you can follow us on all of our social media, TikToks, formerly Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Poor Man Football, all one word. And from one poor man to another, remember, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Go Oilers, go. Good night.
Have a great week, everybody.